Hello everybody, this is Jay with Classic Reaction. Today we're going to be doing a video about how to add a fresh air induction system to any late 70s, early 80s F-body. That would be Firebird or Camaro. Pontiac had used fresh air induction all the way up until I believe 75. The hood was still functional. By 76, the EPA got involved and said, you know, you're making too much noise. I know that the Trans Am's actually had a shaker scoop that worked up until 72. I think by 73 they had blocked it off, blocked off the rear plate with rivets. But yeah, they just didn't want that extra noise. So I want to show people how they can get that back, at least with with a Trans Am, of course, you can always open up the shaker. That's easy. With the Formulas and the Camaros, they actually went to these fake hood scoops. They built scoops into the hood, but the scoops were actually blocked off. And there's a lot of car manufacturers that did this over the years. They had fake scoops in the hood. So this should work for any type of vehicle, pretty much any type of vehicle. And the whole point of it is, you can see in this hood, I'll put some pictures up of a couple hoods here that you can see these fake hood scoops. This one has two holes there, two scoops that go down in. You can open up the rear of them, open up the holes of them. So then you're going to have all this fresh air coming into this hood area here when you're going down the road. We want to direct that cold air into the air cleaner of the car in order to use those scoops and have a real cold air induction, or ram air system is what they called them back then. So stay tuned on this one. We'll show you the next step here in just a second. So what this is a simple sheet of ABS plastic. It's actually textured on one side. It's an 1/8 inch thick. And this piece happened to be 48 by 48 inches. That should be enough to do any large hood size like this. So what I did is I laid it out, measured it to attach to points underneath the hood that are actually already here. So some of the metal structure. On the F bodies, you do not want to attach to this because it needs room up in here for your fan shroud and stuff to stick up your radiator and stuff. So you actually want to keep your plastic down in this area. The way I'm going to do this, the way I'm going to attach this thing to the hood, is actually using these push style fasteners. These little things. You would look at that and you'd say, well, how in the hell is that going to hold anything up on any kind of car? Believe it or not, these things are very, very sturdy. Once you push these into a hole, they are very hard to get out. And they definitely won't fall out on their own, I can tell you that. A lot of modern cars use these things to hook splash shields up inside the fenders and stuff like that. And those fender shields see a lot of abuse, a lot of wind, a lot of mud, rain, all that stuff, and they are always secure. So what these things take is a 1/4 inch hole, a 1/4 inch hole. I'm going to drill my holes in places around here where, there's hood structure underneath. Probably about every, 6 to 8 inches. Doesn't have to be crazy. There are some areas where it's not going to attach, like right here. So I'm going to go from here over to here, and here and here and here. So you're always going to have, back here, you're going to have a little bit of air leakage out through here, a little bit of air leakage out through here. If you wanted to go crazy, once you put this thing on, you could actually fill that with foam, and then it would be truly sealed off. I'm not worried about that. I kind of like it that way, to let a little bit of air out, You don't need to have it too pressurized or anything there. As long as the air cleaner is sucking cold air from the hood, that's all that matters. So what we'll do is we'll get this all attached to the hood. Once we attach it to the hood, we'll put the hood back on the car, and we'll close it. We'll put a little mark on the stud for the carburetor. We'll actually probably put a little bit too long of a one on there, and then close the hood and find out exactly where the stud hits on this hood, on this piece of plastic. Then we'll take the plastic back off and we'll route a hole so that the air cleaner can fit into the hood. I'll show you what we're going to do over here. This is that's an old lid that I had left over from another car. On a Trans Am, this is easy. I guess on any kind of car, this is easy. All you need to do is find an air cleaner that is slightly smaller than the size of the actual air cleaner housing. You need to find a lid that's slightly smaller and attach it so that this is open filament. And we're going to use this rubber. See that? That's going to go around this upper lid of the air cleaner, all the way around there, all the way around that edge. And when we close this hood, this stuff is going to seal right to that ABS plastic, and all that cold air that comes in through the hood is going to go right into that. This piece here, we're going to get rid of. So we'll end up actually cutting this off the side of the air cleaner, removing it somehow, and just welding that shut. So we will have a true cold air ram air induction on this car, on this Formula. So, like I said, I can imagine this would work for this car. It should work for any of the late 70s Camaros with the fake hood scoops on them. Just something cool to do, something different. And I'll show you some of the, once I get these push pins in here. When you go to drill your holes, this is a very important thing. When you go to drill your holes on this, you want, usually your quarter-inch drill bit's gonna be that long. You want to put a piece of hose on that so that you can't accidentally go through and hit the top side of the hood. That's like a drill stop there. And you may think that you're not going to go through and touch the top of the hood. Just trust me, do that. Save yourself some agony. In my early 20s, I was actually working on a Plymouth Superbird, 1970 Plymouth Superbird hood. A guy that lives near here, and mice had gotten into his hood and made nests inside these things, and them peeing in there and stuff had rotted out this part of the hood. So I had to re-weld that all in there, and I had to go back and drill holes in, like this had, these drain holes like the way the factory did. And I remember grabbing a drill and thinking, oh, it's no big deal, I won't go up there, I'll just be careful. Well, I did barely touch the top of the hood, and I ended up having to repaint the entire top of the hood on this lime green Superbird. I mean, it turned out okay, but it was just a lot of extra work that I didn't have to do if I'd have just used that little drill stop. So just a pro tip there, just to help you save you some agony. So I'll pick back up once I get some of these push pins in. You can see the final result here. Okay, so here's where we're at. As you can see, I've got the push fasteners basically all the way around the edge. I'm going to end up putting a couple here and one up there, but I don't want to do those until I get this hole figured out. And I'm not going to know where that hole is exactly until once I mount the hood back on the car. I'm going to have to mount it on there and mark it exactly, because every car is different. The motor might be slightly to the left or to the right, by an inch, and you want to get that measurement exact. But I think it's going to be pretty cool looking when it's all finished. The just to give you an idea of what the air cleaner is going to look like. Of course, this whole system will be gone. We're going to delete that. So when the hood shuts, it's going to seal right to that air cleaner. I still got to do a little bit of a modification on that to get that seal to fit on it perfect, but this way you're going to be sucking cold air in and right down into there, and that's where it's going to be getting its air from. So just a cool little how-to that anybody can do on any late 70s F-body hood. You can apply this to any type of hood, really. So, thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this content, some of this how-to stuff that I put up, to show you some ideas of what I do, you can hit the subscribe button if you'd like. Hit the notification bell. You'll always be notified of any videos I ever put up. So. I do quite a few different types of cars, specialize mostly in 70s and early 80s F-body cars, Trans Ams and Camaros and stuff like that. So, once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.